This Tesla right here, it's a repo. It's only got 1,500 miles. Repo. BMWs, repo. Land Rovers, repo. Big nice F-150s. Porsches, Lexus, all repos. And check it out, these cars are getting repoed. These are nice, nice, nice cars. They lose the Jeep, they lose the lift, they lose the wheels, they lose the tires. And if you think this is crazy, wait till you hear what dealers are actually paying for these repos. So we have a massive problem right now. All these cars that you see around me, they are all repos, and they're big bank repos. So the car market has always been a precursor to bad economic times, right? You know, like the housing market, foreclosures, they take a long time to actually work through the system and to get people out of their houses when they stop making payments. But repossessions, if you miss a couple payments, they'll snatch your car up really quick. And that's what we're seeing now. You look in your community, you look in your neighborhood, you look at your apartment building, you're seeing cars getting snatched up. I see it all the time in my comments. My neighbor just got their Charger snatched up. The guy in my apartment building, he's already lost his Mustang. Whatever it may be, you're already seeing this happen in the real world, and I'm showing you a big scene of it right now at these auctions. And you can look at this and see that people aren't making their payments. If they're not making payments on their cars, they're not going out to eat as much. They're not paying their cell phone bills. They're not paying all these other bills that they have to pay to make the economy keep rolling. This is a big, big bad sign. You can hear her, she's yelling about it. All right, here is a sweet car. I love these things. This is a 2019 Lexus RX 350. It's got 36,000 miles. The body on it, a couple little dings are here and there, but it actually overall looks very good. This is just a very, very nice car. Repo also. So we're going to see what a dealer will pay for this. But it's a Lexus RX 350. It's 2019, 36,000 miles. Repo. So we're absolutely crushing it on views, right? We're getting as many views on these videos as people with millions and millions of subscribers. But my subscriber count is not getting up to where they are. So what I need you to do, you watching this, I need you to hit that subscribe button, please. And please like the video. It really helps me out. Thank you. Here we go. This is a Tesla Model Y. This is a repo. I mean, this car is almost brand new. It's only got 1,500 miles on it. How do you open the Tesla? There we go. Boom. I mean, this thing is sweet. It's a brand new car. It's only got 1,500 miles. And someone let it get repoed. And make no mistake, this is coming from a big bank. This is coming from Wells Fargo. This is a repo. It's got 1,500 miles on it. So I actually just talked to the guy that's been buying a lot of these repos. I saw him in the lane, and like he bought this this Tesla. It's only got, I mean, 1,500 miles. He said he actually buys these things all the time. I mean, it's a brand new car. We're seeing a lot of these situations pop up now. We're seeing a lot of these newer cars with not very many miles start to get repoed, and this is something we haven't seen in the last 2 to 3 years because people could afford the cars then. At least they thought they could afford the cars then, and they were able to make their payments. And now it's not the case. And we're still seeing a ton of this. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I've already belabored this point. Chargers, Challengers, they're everywhere. And it's really just that class of cars because we're seeing Chargers, Challengers, seeing Mustangs, we're seeing Camaros. We're seeing a lot of these toys that are popping up through the system. A lot of young people that thought they had tons of money when they were getting pumped all this free money in the last few years. Well, they spent it, and now they don't have any money anymore, and now everything's costing more. Rent's costing more, insurance costing more, milk's costing more, eggs are costing more, gas is costing more. What else? Put it in the comments. What else is costing more? They're having to pay that, and they can't pay that and their car payments, so they're letting these toys go back, and they have to let them go back because if they don't let them go back, they can't eat. So we see this a lot too, especially with a lot of Jeeps, a lot of big trucks. You see a lot of aftermarket parts on a lot of these things because, you know what? They spent money on getting these wheels and rims and this lift kit, and after that, they couldn't pay their bill on the Jeep. So you know what? They lose the Jeep, they lose the lift, they lose the wheels, they lose the tires. Everything goes because they can't make the payment on the Jeep. All right, Jeep people, stop doing this. You know what this is? This is like the speckle ceiling that you'll see in a bunch of old like school buildings and stuff like that, hospitals. Stop doing this. This is ugly. No one likes this. Stop doing it. Stop. And this is what repos look like. They get smashed in because if you're going to let the car go back, why fix it, right? All right, well, check this one. It's a 2019 Toyota RAV4. We don't see very many RAV4s come through on these repos, but I see there's two right here. So it's very rare to see these, but it's got 47,000 miles. Don't know if I said that already. Inside looks great. Actually, the body outside looks really good too. So we'll check to see what this brings. It's a 2019 Toyota 4Runner, not 4Runner, I'm sorry, RAV4, and it's got 47,000 miles. All right, so here's one of these stingers that all these guys are crazy about. It's already ran, so I'm not gonna be able to get a price, but to me, I see a Kia. That's what I see. So enlighten me, put it down in the comments. What's so great about those cars? I want to know. I've never been in one, I've never driven one, so somebody enlighten me and let me know why they're so popular, why they're so cool. All right, here's a RAV4. You don't see a whole lot of these show up at these auctions, but it's got 63,000 miles. See what year it is. It's a 2020 RAV4, 63,000 miles. You got a little ding here. I don't know if you can see that. Outside body, other than that, looks pretty good. Inside looks pretty good. It's a 2020 RAV4. It's got 63,000 miles. We'll check this one. So I actually just had the privilege of talking to one of the mechanics works here. Actually, I wish I would have got his name, but he watches my videos. But he was able to tell me he's worked here for years, and that 2 years ago, like Wells Fargo, these banks that were sending repos, they were almost non-existent, and now they're just getting crushed. So they're seeing the same thing that I'm seeing, and he works here at the auction. Another thing that he's seeing that we've been reporting on is that
Mind if I ask you a car question?
yes sir, what can I do? Nice to meet you. All right, well, you will be on the channel. What's your name?
That's fine, Pete.
Pete.
Yep. See you all the time, watch it.
All right, I appreciate you saying hey to it.
What's going on here is pretty reflected on what you're saying.
Yep, it's showing exactly what it is.
Down. Yep.
All right, thanks Pete. All right, this is a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and just to show you, people do not take care of these cars when they know that they're going to get repo. But it's got 32,000 miles on it. It's got dings here and there on it. Inside actually looks way better than the outside does. But we'll check this one to see what a dealer will pay for this. It's a 2021 Repo Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's got 32,000 miles. One thing that's interesting that a buddy of mine just pointed out to me, and I've noticed it too, a lot of these repos, well, let's go back. When you buy trade-ins at these auctions, that's usually what we will buy. They're almost always empty on gas, right? So whenever someone's going to go trade in their car, they're going to run out all the gas possible and trade it in with almost nothing left in it, because they don't want to give the dealership that money, right? The money in gas. But what we noticed about a lot of repos is they almost all have like a full tank of gas. So that can show you it's sad, but people don't realize when their car is going to get repoed and get snatched at any time. And a lot of times they have a full tank of gas because people just get them snatched up right after they go to the gas tank and fill up. Mechanic that I was talking to, he was saying that the other thing that we're seeing that I'm reporting on in these videos, the quality is just absolute garbage. And what he's seeing too is that he's having to fix a lot more of these cars that are coming through, because a lot of these sellers, whether they be banks or some of these bigger dealers, they will actually send some stuff through this auction. And companies that like will buy cars like off a website or whatever, they'll send cars to this auction, but they'll request that stuff gets repaired. And I actually didn't know that this was a thing, but they have on-staff mechanics, and they'll actually fix stuff before it goes through auction. He was talking about companies even like putting compressors in some nicer Mercedes and stuff like this because it'll bring more money at this auction, right? So he's having to fix a lot more stuff now, even though they're having fewer cars coming through the system, because the quality of what people are getting repoed, what they're trading in, and the cars that they're actually selling because they have to, not because they want to, but the quality is just way down from what it used to be. So this is actually a bigger auction than what you'll normally see on my channel. You see all these cars in the background right here. They've actually running 5 lanes, so it gets kind of chaotic when you're in there, especially if you have 2 or 3 cars going through the lanes at the same time. You got to bounce across all these garages while you're inside, hitting cars and bidding on them. It's very fun, lots of adrenaline pumping when you're doing something like that, but it can get confusing, especially if it runs up like $500 when you're in another lane, but you come back and hit it again without looking. I've done it before, and it's fun, but it's also you can spend a little bit more just because you got that adrenaline pumping, especially when you're running across lane. You hear that horn going off? It's almost a constant thing at a lot of these auctions. So what'll happen is they'll jump off a car, but it's been opened up improperly, and the alarm will just keep going off. So I kind of tune it out now, but I hear a lot of things in the comments, picking up on things that like I don't even hear anymore because I'm just used to it here at the auction. But yeah, it's annoying when I start thinking about it now because I got to tell you about it.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Pete. Lost my train of thought. That's awesome. If you ever see me in the wild, grab me. It's very cool to see because I still don't. I know I'm talking to a lot of people in this camera, but still doesn't feel like that. I see myself in the camera, and I feel like I'm talking to myself. But I know there's hundreds of thousands of people watching, but it still hasn't clicked yet. But that's probably a good thing. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the mechanic that I was talking to, Tesla Model Y. It's only got 1,500 miles on it. This is a 2019 Lexus RX 350. It's got 36,000 miles. 2020 RAV4, 63,000 miles. All right, this is a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's got 32,000 miles on it. All right, well, check this one. It's a 2019 Toyota RAV4, but it's got 47,000 miles.